Okay, so this is the front differential here, and your fill port is right on the front here. It's kind of jammed up in here, right there. Right here is your fill port, and that gear lube pump is really gonna help out with putting the fluid in this one. This 2008 has a different system than the 2012 that I worked on, because the 2012 was up top. But we're gonna make sure that we can get the fill port open first, and then drain the fluid, and then install the fluid and get everything back together. But it's real important that you get that fill port off. On the 2012, I actually had to heat it up to get it out of there, so hopefully we'll be able to get the fill port open. But I've got to clean some of this up before I do this, because it's just, you just don't want to take a chance of getting mud or something in there, and there's just all kinds of stuff in there. So let me get this cleaned up, and then we'll get back to it. To access the front differential plug on this, I'm going to have to remove this cover. Now, you actually probably don't need to remove the cover, but I need to remove the cover so I can film this. So there's 3 of those pop rivets, and I actually don't have the tool to remove the pop rivets without damaging them, but I do have those rivets in stock, so I just usually destroy them and then get them off there and just replace them with new. Okay, corn husks and all kinds of stuff in there. Now the drain plug will be underneath here. Now he does have a snow plow that he uses, so I'm hoping that this plate, there's an access point here. It's kind of hard to see. See if I get a light under here. And right there, we're looking underneath of it. Right here is going to be your drain. So we'll need to drain this first, and I had to heat the last one that I took off too for the front. So he's had a lot of water and stuff up in here, so I'm going to try to break this. If I can't break this, I'm going to have to heat this up to get this loose. There's a little tab here on the frame, And I'll tell you what, that was placed there as far as I'm concerned, so you have to buy the specific Polaris tool to get into this, the oil fill plug. So I had to take a set of pliers and bend this back just a little bit. It won't affect anything. The frame is welded underneath of it. This looks like it's just excess here. So to get the tool in here, I had to bend this back. Otherwise, you might have a hard time getting that tool in there. And once I place the tool on here, you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's get this drain plug, or the fill plug, removed first. Make sure we get it removed, and then drain the fluid. It is very crucial that when you put this this Allen type socket in there, that it goes into the fill plug as far as possible. If you have mud and gunk in there, you need to clean this out so you can get the tool in there all the way, because if you don't get the tool in there all the way, you're going to strip that. And I've done it before. I'm just telling you in advance, it's not fun, especially on one of these. You're going to have to rip the whole four-wheeler apart to get in there. So I'm going to place the socket there, and as you can see, the tab is right there against the socket. So we'll probably have to loosen this and then remove the socket to get the fill plug out of there. And let's see if we're going to break. I really don't want to put heat to this, but see if we can get this broke loose. Oh wow. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go get the drain pan real quick, because sometimes when these are filled, you're supposed to fill these right up to the thread line and then put the fill plug back in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and remove the ratchet. Yeah, see, that tab is right in the way. I might have to bend that tab a little more before I get that undone. Okay, I bent that tab a little more. Let's see if we can get this out of here. Hey, success. Okay, just going to be vitally important, if you've got the tools I'm using, to bend that tab. Right there, there's the tab. Alright, let's get the drain plug undone. Now, if you're riding these off-road, like most people are, just make sure you can get that clean so you can get your socket in there. I think it's T8 Allen wrench in there. You want to place that in there as tight as possible so you don't strip it. And there won't be very much fluid in here. This doesn't take but I think 9 something ounces. And get your oil pan ready and let this drain out. It's extremely cold out here, so this is going to drain for a while. And you've got your magnetic side on the drain. Just let it drain out into the pan. Okay, and then you just want to clean your fill cap and your drain cap. The drain cap actually has quite a bit of sludge. Well, looks like sludge. It's metal, but you know, this is just common stuff that's going to happen when you have all these gears, you know, inside your differentials just turning all the time. And we'll spray these down and get this stuff reinstalled and get the fluid in there. Now we're just going to reinstall the plug. Oh my God. The fluid actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's dark. It's gonna be dark, but there's no big time metal shavings. There's a little bit there, but nothing major. So really should do this about annually, I think. I'll re-look it up and put in the description below how often this should be changed. Well, it's about 5 degrees out here today, so we're gonna go ahead and heat some of that fluid up before we install it, so it flows in there a little easier. Now that we have the fluid warmed up, we're gonna go ahead and put the gear lube pump on top of the bottle here. So it's gonna be a lot easier to put that in than with the funnel and attachment. Now you can use the funnel and attachment like I did in my other videos, the links below. But this gear lube pump makes things 10 times easier. So get that hooked up. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is, it takes about 9.3 ounces. So what I usually do on the front differentials is, the actual spec is to fill it up to the bottom of the thread holes. So what I usually do is I'll mark on here the ounces that I need, and then I'll just go ahead and overflow the differential and let the fluid drain out of it. And then that'll give you your setting, you know, because you can't really overfill these if the fluid comes out at the bottom of the thread holes. It'll come out of the differential. It's 32 ounces in a quart, minus 9.3, whatever it is. And now we're going to fill the front differential here. You're just going to insert your tube, and we're going to pump the fluid in there. You just want to do this slowly. We're not going to rush this, so it just doesn't shoot out. front diff doesn't take very much fluid. If you rush the pump it slow, and it's a little thick, so it'll go in there. And go ahead and put your oil pan back underneath of it because you may overflow it. We're about right at the mark, so I'm going to go ahead and overflow this. Just to make sure the fluid's all right in there. Now what you're checking for is that fluid is right at the thread lines of the fill port, and it is, so we'll go ahead and put the cap back on. I don't know if I can zoom in with this. And now we're going to fill the front differential here. You're just going to insert your tube, and we're going to pump the fluid in there. I'm going to go ahead and overflow this. Just to make sure the fluid's all right in there. Now we're going to reinstall the fill plug. And don't forget to reinstall your guard here. I think a lot of people just end up removing this and keeping this off, if I had to guess. These push rivets can be purchased online really cheap. That's why I just destroy them, because there's no reason to try to save these things. Oh man. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the front differential here, and it's really easy to do. The only thing is, every 2008 and then 2012, I think every 4 years or so they change the model. So if you have a Polaris Sportsman, these videos aren't universal. This is for this year of Sportsman. But if this video helped you out, check the links below, and then check out my other Sportsman videos. There's more videos to come. All the fluid in this four-wheeler is going to have Amsoil put into it. So out of here, check me out next week. Subscribe, hit the bell.